It's been a minute, but we all out here today. We have a very special guest with us today. Couldn't be more excited to introduce him. His name is Ruben, but he also goes by 713 Houston Sports. You can find him on Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok. As you guys know, my name is Akron Lee. Everybody's favorite co-host is back with us today as well, Mr. Staten Kent. Couldn't be more excited just to talk all things, Texans football, a little bit of NFL, a little bit of Cowboys. We'll try to fit them in there. I know Ruben's on my side with the Texans, but we'll give you a little chance. It's not going to be all rainbows and daisies with the Cowboys, but nonetheless, we are very excited to have you on, Ruben. I couldn't thank you,
Thank you for having me.
enough just to be taking the time to be on with us. So without further ado, I guess, how are you guys doing today? Starting off with Staten, how are you doing?
Man, I'm doing all right today, man. Enjoying myself, whatnot. Pretty excited for this episode, man. It's big things coming, people, and I appreciate you, Ruben, for being here with us, man. Take your time out of your day. So yeah, man, I'm having a good one.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. Thank you for having me on.
Of course. With that being said, I kind of want to get right into it a little bit, and just kind of, as we have talked previously, really just pick your brain a little bit. So first off, right off the bat, I kind of want to, if I may ask you, talk about a little bit how you got into not only football, but are you from Houston? How did you get into the Texans? I see you're rocking, an Astros hat. So how I guess going back a little bit, when did you really start getting into sports, as a kid and really, have a love for the Texans and NFL as a whole?
Yeah, and I was born in the H. I grew up around Pasadena, Texas. Started watching sports around, the ages of 7 and 8, right when everyone starts getting into it. Started out with baseball, and then just one Sunday I just heard, football going on, and I tuned in, and from then there, it was just every single Sunday nonstop. It was just football. It was Houston Texans football, man, and haven't looked back since.
Oh yeah, no, that's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. Who was your favorite player growing up? Was it Andre? Was it JJ?
Oh, it was Andre.
A combination?
Yeah, no. Yeah, dude, it was Andre.
Yes.
I mean, like, when I played outside, that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be Andre Johnson. Everyone remembers that game against the Redskins when we were over there. He goes up, game tying touchdown. You hear Mark Vandermeer says, Andre Johnson says, I'm the best wide receiver in football. I'm going to go get it. And, that was a great moment. Then goes to overtime, field goal. Kubiak's not even looking at it go in, man. Love Andre, and seeing his last couple of years was really was really good to see. It was kind of bittersweet, man. When he got released, he ended up signing with the Colts, man. It was heartbreaking. I shedded a tear, right? It's like the quote from Batman, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain. So he ended up going to the Colts. He ended up going to the freaking Titans, man. But yeah. Andre was my guy, dude. Kind of have a love-hate relationship with J.J. Watt, but was a fan of him growing up as well.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. With that being said, I know, like you said, Andre was your favorite. I think it's awesome to have him finally be in the Hall of Fame. I feel like it's about 4 years overdue. I know it seems like it's been a lifetime since he retired, and these last couple of years, he's been real close. He's been this close to getting in. So it was really dope to see this year, especially after, C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson win those awards. And then towards the tail end of the NFL honors to really get to see Andre be a part of this class. And I think there was a picture, last week? He already has been to Canton and everything. And so that's phenomenal. So very, very happy for him. I will say he is a very, very large individual. I went to the Houston. Yeah, he's a big dude. I went to the Houston Cougars game a couple weeks ago. Yeah. I went a couple weeks ago with my dad, and he was sitting courtside, and he stood up. I was like, damn, because we were blessed to have very good seats, so we weren't too far from courtside. But anyways, that's all good stuff. It really stems from a childhood perspective, and Staten can relate too. He's been watching football for a long time. I wish you were a Texans fan, even though you're from Houston, but I'll cut you some slack.
Criminal,
but
that's
I got a
criminal.
lot of respect for the Texans, man. Like they are one of those teams that you don't feel bad, rooting for. I know nowadays I think it's become so norm for everybody to be such a bandwagoner. You know what I mean? Like no one was a Chiefs fan like that until Mahomes showed up and started winning those Super Bowls. You know what I mean? And now everybody and their mom's like, "Yeah, I'm a Chiefs fan, man. I
Mm-hmm.
love Mahomes. I love Kelsey. I love all those guys." But the Texans, I think, have always been that diehard. Like, man, only people, true fans, are from the H. You know what I mean? Like they're going to ride or die for the Texans. You guys
Oh
go
yeah,
9-7, 0-16. It don't matter, man. You guys gonna ride out.
oh yeah,
And I can respect that. So,
yeah.
but
It's definitely been big to see that from a fan standpoint.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
I just wanted to
so no, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Nah, man, I'm sitting there. Nah, my fault, my fault. Nah, I'm sitting there thinking about that Andre Johnson thing. I was really happy for him
Mm-hmm.
getting to Canton and getting to Hall of Fame and everything because his stats were there, man. He's a 7-time Pro Bowler. I always felt like if he were to play with Peyton in his prime, he would have played with any other team, he would have been there already. But
That
just
was
for
the
him to get the
question.
credit that he deserves now, um, really brings he was special, man, and it really just really made my heart happy just to see him inducted. And like you were saying, seeing C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson win those awards that night is kind of like a passing of the torch, man. Like he was there like Andre was there when it first started. Now these guys are gonna carry it way further than we're ever gonna see it. So
Mm-hmm.
really happy for the Texans, man.
Yeah, it's
No, dude,
it's
like,
gonna be
and then
great.
what Andre? Oh, yeah, for sure. My fault. Go ahead, buddy.
No, you're good. It was just
Oh no,
catching
I
you.
was
You're
just
good.
saying like yeah, like, no, like, it was kind of cool to see, CJ and Will win. It was like, the past and present really getting, their love at the NFL awards. And, you know, it's just so great that when Andre goes in, you have an offensive rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year, and then, second place for coach of the year, man. So, Houston really got some love that NFL weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. It's no. I really wasn't gonna say too much. I was just gonna say that I think it's great that all in a nutshell, it's cool to have Houston in the Hall of Fame, man. We're finally there. It's about damn time. So next will probably be JJ, most certainly.
For
So
sure.
Oh yeah.
that's only a matter of time. But without further ado, I kind of want to transition a little bit more in depth with things with you, Ruben, and like we said, really just kind of pick your brain a little bit. One of
Mm-hmm.
my favorite things and how I actually came across your content, and I was telling Staten, who also has Bleacher Report, was
Mm-hmm.
actually just being a part of the Texans community. At first I remember like clockwork. A month and a half ago, before I reached out to you, I got a notification,
Yeah.
to tap in to join live, and it was going to be a discussion about potential free agents for the Texans, and I think you were the one
Mm-hmm.
hosting it. And I watched the video and I tuned in the live stream and was watching it. I was like, man, like, who is this guy? This guy's pretty cool. He knows his stuff. And from there, I kind of checked out your YouTube a little bit, and that's how I
Mm-hmm.
found you on TikTok and stuff. So, I caught Staten up. I was like, man, like, should I just do it? Should I just reach out to him? Because I kind of caught him up a little bit and was just telling him, what you
Mm-hmm.
talk about, your knowledge for the Texans, not only is, NFL, all that good stuff. And so, um, I was like, you know what, man, I'm just gonna reach out. So I guess our first question,
Mm-hmm.
something that we've really been, trying to figure out and build our following, obviously, is to get into something like Bleacher Report, maybe to be able to do a live show, to do collaborations like this with you and all those other great sports, podcasters that you see on Bleacher Report. I guess kind of walk us through where you started with it, and then kind of how you got into Bleacher Report, and then kind of so on from there.
Yeah, well, the journey started about 4.5, 5 years ago when I started my YouTube channel. Once the news that Laramie Tunsil was traded to the Houston Texans, then at that moment I started, and for the next couple of years it was just grinding. Right, it was getting to my first 1,000 subscribers, then it was the 5K, and then it was glory to God, thank you so much that I'm at 10,000, 400, almost trying to push 15K. It was just just grinding, man. And the Bleach Report really came from Believe. That was a network that I am on where we host a podcast with my boy Harley, and they got a hold of me and they had asked me, if I wanted to host a stream on Bleacher Report. And of course, I was nervous, but I took the chance, and I've been doing it since the middle of the season, and it's great.
Yeah.
It's refreshing to see, 200, 300, 400 people, really dive in and see what you have to say. But, Bleacher Report really didn't come to year 5, man, right? It was the first 4 years of grinding and doing your own videos. Like, I started off my phone, right? So
Yeah.
from going from there all the way to, having all this stuff here now, it was a mission, but, something that I really love doing. And, didn't want to quit. I did not stop at all during these 4 years. Just kept on dropping content, and even when the team was shit, even when we had Lovey Smith and we had David Cully, and there was really nothing to cheer about, right? I was still dropping a video every single day because there is that Texans fan that still cares. There is that Texans fan, that is gonna watch every single time. And like Staten mentioned, there's diehards here in the H. So that was really what kept me going. And all this extra stuff, like like Believe, like the Round Table, like Bleacher Report, it's just coming off of the hard work I've done over the years.
Heck yeah. And no, that's lots of good stuff, man. Lots of good stuff to hear. And congratulations. And as we know,
Mm-hmm.
because we're new on the scene, we've only been doing it. We're coming up on our first full year here this summer doing
Yeah.
it. Um, Talk about, I guess, a little bit more in depth. How did you get into Believe and that network as far as hosting your podcast and I guess coming across more of that group?
Yeah, well, that one, I had reached out to them. I noticed that they did have a Believe in Houston Texans that was once done by John Crumpler, who's a lead analyst for the Texans Wire, and Jordan Pun,
Mm-hmm.
Texans Thoughts, who is now on the 33rd team. I noticed that they weren't having consistent Houston Texans podcasts on there, so I just asked if I could host some, or what are their thoughts on that. They ended up giving me the gig, and I was able to bring on Harley, the lead, and we've been doing almost
Yeah.
almost 60 plus episodes deep now. And it's just still like them finding you. It's just off of the hard work that you've built over the years. And it's not just on YouTube, right? It's on Twitter, it's on Instagram, it's on
Yeah.
TikTok, right? If you cannot put out
Yep.
this consistent content, if you cannot
Yep.
talk just straight for 30 minutes, they're not gonna really mess with you. But if they see you put the time in, man, all that stuff's gonna come. It's just a matter of working hard for it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Most definitely. And so you mentioned Harley a little bit. I think I saw him on a YouTube video that you guys were talking about, free agency, I think the week before
Mm-hmm.
last, right before y'all were talking about Saquon and Danico Autry and all these guys, and it was a great conversation. And you may not know Staten. I need to catch you up a little bit with that video, but that was a great video. And like he said, that's
Mm-hmm.
a good friend of his that they kind of started together. And I think Harley, he has his own podcast and he's kind of doing
Yep.
more of his solo thing now, right?
Yeah, no, so Harley started, I think, 4 months after I initially started mine. So now he's around
Yep.
5,000 subscribers on YouTube. He's around 4,000 on Twitter, and getting back into the TikTok and Instagram game. We were friends all the way in high school. We played football with each
Yeah.
other, against each other. So it's kind of it's real cool seeing him grow as well. And whenever we collab, we feel like since we've known each other for almost a decade plus now, like we could just put out fire content, whenever we want to. At the end of the day, it just still comes down to putting in the work, right? And I know for him, he does more work, right? He does Astros, he does Rockets, and he does Texans. I just do Houston
Yep.
Texans, so I can only imagine, the plate that he has on him. But at the end of
Yeah.
the day, man, it's just hard work what got us here. And you know with the hard work comes the accolations, right? You get a little money from the YouTube, you get a little money from TikTok and Twitter. So
Yeah.
it's just hard work, man. You got to keep on grinding.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
No, that is all good stuff, man. And like I said, I appreciate you really going into depth more on kind of how that process started. Because like I said, I
Mm-hmm.
found you on Bleacher Report, and I was like, man, like this guy seems pretty damn cool. I'm gonna
Hmm.
follow him and and start checking out his broadcasts. Because as Staten can tell you, we've been very involved in Bleacher Report over the years. I know
Yeah.
you have a couple of these other apps that have come out, but Bleacher Report has always been number one as far as
Yeah,
news
it's been
and
there since we were
broadcasts.
kids, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, it's been there since we were like in eighth or ninth grade. I mean, it's been there a
Yeah,
long
yeah.
time. But with that being said, Staten, I'll turn the floor over to you a little bit. Is there anything that you kind of want to piggyback off of what I asked Ruben as far as how he goes about his daily processes and the content creation, all that good stuff?
Yeah, I came up with a couple of questions just sitting here thinking. I know you're talking, Ruben. I know you just, talking about how you're just grinding it out, and how you're starting, how you started off. My bad. Trying to grind it out, and staying consistent and everything. But have you ever had those moments in time where it's like, man, it's kind of hard, kind of difficult? Like, what mindset do you usually get yourself in to keep pushing out that content and keep going further? You know what I mean?
Oh man, absolutely. I mean, you always have that thought. I'm pretty sure we've all had that thought about, you know, quitting what we were doing, and I've had those myself, right? And a really hard time was when we were losing, right? And I was, the views were down, and it was just not the 3,000 views a video, but it was just 1K, 1.1, and you're just like, man, no one's really rocking with the team right now. And you're going this through 2 years, and you're going to training camp, right? You're going to the draft parties, you're doing your own custom thumbnails, your own TikToks, your own Instagram reels, and you're being rewarded with the shit football team, right? So that to me was a very, very rough time. But like I said, I go back to those people who want Houston Texans content, because I remember when I was working in the plants and I had overnight shifts, and I wanted to hear what anyone was talking about the Houston Texans, whether they were credentialed, whether they're on ESPN or not. So I was like, you know what, man, I'm gonna just continue to put out these videos. And when I see guys comment who I've seen over the years, it's like we've built a family, we've built a connection together. And like I said, man, I do it for the people. And it's cool when someone comes up to you and is like, hey, like, I watch your channel, can I take a picture? You're like, wow, I'm really no one, and this guy's taking the time out of his day to watch a 6 to 9 minute video of me, a hour live stream of me, or me and Harley. So it's a mixture of the love for this team, because the love for this team is always going to be there. It's never going
Mm-hmm.
to leave. I'm a diehard Houston Texan fan, and I would always be a diehard Houston Texans fan. So the love for the team is one of them. And then, just the love of the game, man, the love of the hustle. When you get your first ever 1,000 view video, you get that adrenaline. When you get your first ever 100 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers, you're thinking, I can do this. I can do this, right? And you start seeing yourself get better. You start seeing yourself use different tactics, right? Buy a light, use OBS, and just different skills that you pick up doing this, man. And once you get into a rhythm, you think that, this could really become something. And it's a lot of believing in yourself as well, because I was just listening to to Joe Rogan and the Mexican OT's podcast, and the Mexican OT said, we're no one at the beginning, and that stuck with me.
Yep.
I was like, yeah, I am no one. So you have to get over that, that barrier of putting yourself on camera. And you guys have already both done that, right? You're dropping episodes, you have it in channel. Just don't stop. Just don't stop. No matter how hard it is, no matter if you don't have shit to talk about. We all have stuff to talk about, right? When it comes to sports, we can go on and on and on and on. It's just, if you got the love for it, man, and if you really want to make bread off it, and because you can, it's fun.
Oh yeah, most
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
And I think all the points that you hit on just now are fantastic, man. Like that is the exact right mindset to have with it. Keep going, keep doing what you do, and do it because you love it. And that's what's gonna
Mm-hmm.
keep the grind going, is because you love it. And that's something me and my buddy Staten, we really pride ourselves on as far as creating this whole thing. We started it because we loved it, right? We have that love for
Mm-hmm.
sports. We have that love for pop culture, right? I know our basis of our podcast is sports and pop culture, but nonetheless, my point is having that love, having that passion, and that's with anything you do, and you do it because you love it. But no,
Yeah,
that's all
having that fun
fantastic
with
stuff.
it. Yeah, man, just have like Akron was saying, man, we have that love and that passion for it, man. But it's also that you want to have a little fun, man. You want to sit down and if you enjoy what you're doing, it's never work to you. You know what I mean? And I've always loved every episode. We can sit down here and spend an hour of our days just messing around, talking and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But we're putting out content, we're being consistent, and just enjoying ourselves. So yeah, man, this is a real special thing to us. So
Yeah,
but
no, like
Yeah.
this is my baby too,
yeah.
so I want to see it grow and I want to see it, become something great. And, you know, when we do this, right, when we drop these videos, we know it's the long game here.
Hmm.
Yep.
We would love, obviously, to blow up overnight, right?
Yeah.
Now, it happens to some people, right? But what other people is just about grinding. And, when you see all these big podcasts make it, right, they always say, oh, I've been doing this for years. I've been doing this for 8+ years, right? It's 9+ years. And now they got to where they're at. Is just being consistent, man, and just loving what you do. And it always helps when your football team's winning games.
Hmm.
Yep. I think all of us, Texans, Cowboys, NFL as a whole, can definitely
Yeah.
attest to that. It definitely. I'm sure for you, CJ Stroud kind of helped a lot. With the blow
Mm-hmm.
up and things, especially this past fall, man. It was just truly, truly magical to see. And we here in H Town are definitely thankful for that. But with that, I think that's a great transition to talk a little bit more. Let's get more in depth as
Big old-
far as the Texans go.
Open
um,
with a question. I got you. Since
yeah,
you want
you
me to
go
fill you
ahead.
in, I got you. I
No,
got
you
you.
got it.
Um, you want to move over to sports right now?
No, I want to hear yours first. You go first.
I got, no, I was just if we're going to transition that way, man. I was just kind of curious because I want to pick his brain a little bit. Ruben.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So going back to last year's draft night, and they had
Okay.
all those quarterbacks, the Bryce Youngs of the world, Anthony Richardsons. Um, when your team was up, when the Texans were up, and they called CJ Stroud, what was your immediate reaction? Were you
Mm-hmm.
hoping for someone else, or are you cool with what you got?
So
Did
remember,
you
right?
want
The
Bryce
Texans.
Young?
So remember, the Texans had the #1 overall pick up until the last game of the season, and ended up winning it against the Colts. They lose the #1, they go to #2. I wanted Bryce Young during the season. I was looking at what he was doing with Alabama, and I was thinking, you know, fuck him being 5'9". This dude's a baller. When we lost the #1 overall pick, I was like, all right, it's CJ Stroud. And I kind of, I feel like all of Houston Texans kind of talked themselves into CJ Stroud. And I
Yeah.
was at the draft party. And,
Yeah.
once we heard Bryce Young's names be called, we were like, okay, cool, fine. We knew that was going to happen, but it needs to be CJ. Remember, we were having conversations. Is it Will Levis? Is it Anthony Richardson? But no, it
Man.
was Coleridge Bernard Stroud. And I was at the draft party, and, I recorded my reaction. As soon as I heard the name, I just started jumping up and screaming. And it was the same, man. Everyone was relieved that we got our quarterback. We got a dude who, with Ohio State, was one of the best quarterbacks in the nation, had so much talent around him, and really showed out in that Georgia playoff game, man. Really showed why he should have been, one of the top quarterbacks taken in the draft. And, that was great. I love CJ, and what he did this season was spectacular. And what was fun about that draft moment was, what happened after was Will Anderson Jr. And it
Yep.
was me and Harley there, and we were just celebrating of CJ Stroud. And then our friend Patrick Stormy comes and he nudges us and said, hey, we're not done. We just traded up to #3. Right. So that moment happens and we start going crazy. And what's funny is everyone else in the crowd starts looking at us and wondering why we're going stupid at that moment. Because, the vibe had died down. They started showing off the highlights of CJ Stroud. We had what I believe the 12 or 13 picks. So we were waiting for them. And then once the news broke, you started to hear the eruptions all around the whole crowd. There was about 4,000 or 5,000 people there. Then you hear on the loud mic, right? The loudspeakers, the commissioners say the Houston Texans have traded to the #3 pick. And the eruption from that was probably louder than the, reaction to CJ Stroud being drafted. And then Will Anderson being called, I mean, it exploded. Everyone was just screaming up and down. You had playoff chants, you had Super Bowl champs. Little did I know that we were going to be in the playoffs in just a couple of months away, but that was just a great moment, man. It just that draft night was insane.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I think I compared draft night. I think I compared draft night to Christmas morning because how you were. That's exactly how. So me and my folks, we were on our way home from vacation. We were coming back from Florida, and we drove. I shit you not. We got home with like 30 minutes to spare before the draft. I was like, man, I gotta be home before the draft. This vacation was dope.
Yeah.
I had a damn good time, but I want to make sure we're home before the draft. And sure enough, we made it. And I think y'all's reaction is exactly how we were here in my own home, man. Like it was crazy. We just went nuts. There was no way else around it. We just went nuts. And I like that you bring up, all for probably 9 months, it was talk about Bryce Young, and then up until a month before the draft, it starts becoming C.J. Stroud, Will Levis. I mean, there was very much all these rumors that the Texans themselves didn't even link, that reporters were just coming up with. And so it's like, man, what are we finna do at number 2? You know what I mean? Like, if they don't draft C.J. Stroud, I don't know. Anthony Richardson maybe, right? But no, it was truly magical to see. And lo and behold, like you said, we didn't know what we were in for, especially going through preseason. But who would have known that the season would have went the way it did? And it was truly just, magical to see. And then cherry on top was Will Anderson.
I mean, dude, like that was, that whole draft night was a scene, right? Because it was packed. They allowed you to take your own cooler, so we packed the cooler up with just a couple of 3 cases. We had some loud with us, so we're having a great time. And by the first round, we're smacked. We're lit, we're turning, we celebrate for CJ, and then we slam a couple to celebrate our new quarterback, and then we slammed for the trade, and then we slammed for Will Anderson Jr. By the time we got home, I mean, we're all sauced, and I kind of knew this team was going to be different the first day of open training camp practice to the public, because everyone's saying D'Amico Ryan's happy birthday. And it was something that the Houston Texans did by themselves. D'Amico Ryans didn't know, but he was the last one walking down the stairs that he was about to take the field, and then everyone breaks out in the happy birthday. You see his big old white smile, and I felt like, okay, this team is different. And as training camp was going, I mean, I went to the one with David Culley. I went to the ones with Lovie Smith, and you could get there late and still find some good seats. With this training camp, people were lining up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Harley was there at 3. I would get there around 4:30 and just go right where he was. And the gates didn't open until 8. And once those gates open, you had to wait another hour and, at another line, which is the red, white, and blue, to find out where you were going to seat. And that's another hour and a half of waiting. And by that time, the line is like a mile and a half long. And every training camp practice, that was the next one, I said, this is the most people I've ever seen. This is the most people I've ever seen. And from then and there, dude, I knew that, this team was different. And the first time you see CJ Stroud walk down the stairs, man, you saw this aura, you saw this glow. And, the first thing I said, well, this dude is jacked. And from there, man, we just had these signs of this team was going to be special. And, dude, they were.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was truly magical to see. We were actually going to go, Staten and I, to one of those training camp practices. My dad had gotten us tickets, but my mom had to have a minor procedure for health reasons. But she's doing a lot better now, of course, which is fantastic. Yeah. But unfortunately, we didn't get to go. So I definitely could see what you're talking about as far as people lining up at like 3 o'clock in the morning, staying up there, partying. Like that shit was packed. And what's crazy is you see all these people getting like signatures and stuff from them. They didn't know that it's just like the football card market right now. They did not know that any of that memorabilia, these jerseys, I mean, no one knew that it was going to be worth what it was now and that CJ was going to have that season. Now, what we did know is that we had a quarterback. And I think that's all that mattered, is that we knew we had a quarterback. We were feeling good going into the season. It was ready. we were ready to have things going. You know what I mean? We were just itching for it.
Absolutely.
So yeah, yeah. But now transitioning a little bit, continuing the football talk, of course. I want to fast forward. Obviously, we know we talked about the honors and all that, the great awards that we were very lucky to see these guys win. I want to get both of you guys' reaction a little bit more. And Ruben, I apologize if I'm making you kind of regurgitate a little bit, because I know you've been fantastic and on top of everything. What's that?
I put him on the spot. Put him on the spot.
I got to. No, right. But I want to continue to get your reaction a little bit. I know I am damn sure just as excited as you, as far as how our free agency has gone. It started off not going how entirely we thought it was. I think we can say to an extent, but it wasn't surprising. And then you got, names like Daniil Hunter and all these guys coming in, Joe Mixon, to kind of cap things off. I want to start off with you, Staten. I want to start off with kind of from an outside perspective, where were you when, all this news broke, and kind of from a opponent perspective, outsider perspective, where do you see kind of the D-line going? What are your expectations for these guys, and kind of what grade would you give the Texans free agency? And then we'll get to Ruben after that.
Okay, that's a bet. Where I was at when all this was going down was at work. I was probably the only Cowboy fan out of two other guys. Everyone else is like Texan fans and Saints fans. So I'm sitting there just spazzing out. Akron saw my tweets, man. I'm sitting here tweaking out at work. Like, are we going to make any trades? Are we going to make any pickups? Like, come on, man. And I'm just seeing guys like get picked left and right. I'm seeing Texans pick Daniil Hunter. I see Joe Mixon. I see all these guys. I'm like, oh, Jesus. And then we pick up like Eric Kendricks and re-sign a long snapper. And I'm just like, dude, he's Akron's sitting on the phone. He's texting me, and I call him. I call him. We're on the phone talking, and he's like, "Man, come here, Jordan, Texas, man. You already know what time it is, man. Come on, bro."
I was like, we got a warm seat for you.
You got a warm little seat, man. Comes with a free CJ shirt. And I'm just like trying to hold fast, man. I'm not going to jump no team, man. Cowboys till I die. I'm just going to roll with them, good or bad. But from an outsider's perspective, looking at how the Texans are building themselves right now, they're all in on CJ, man. They see him as the future. They see him as a potential Super Bowl champion. I think it was a great pickup going to get Joe Mixon. I really like Singletary a lot, but I don't think his production's even going to compare to Mixon's just because what he's done on the Bengals for so long. Then you guys lost Grenard, but I think you guys just like picked up a big time pickup, and then Daniil Hunter mixed in with Will Anderson, so that makes that pass rush just a whole lot more fierce. You know what I mean? So you guys, I would say about an A, B plus A. I mean, you guys didn't regress. You guys are all in. I was really hoping for you guys to either pick up Mike Evans or possibly Saquon Barkley, because I know I was hearing news about that. But I like Tank Dell. I like Nico Collins. They were really balling out, especially Nico Collins with Tank Dell out for the rest of the season. But that team's going to be fierce, man. They're going to be legit contenders, and they're going to be a hard out, because I think that running into any team like Baltimore, Kansas City, that's going to be a hard battle for you to knock you guys off. So I definitely give you guys props.
Yeah, no, I think how can you not go with an A? I would say this: the way it turned out was crazy, because the days leading to free agency, I mean, the excitement was at an all-time high. We thought Nick Caserio was going to come out swinging out the gate. That's not what happened. We lost Christian Wilkins to the Raiders. We lost Saquon Barkley to the Eagles. All of them overpaid. However, if you would have saw the Houston Texans put out that kind of cash, you would have not been upset if they did, right? You would have said, hey, they finally spent money. They finally make the big move. And, the notion of the Houston Texans not being aggressive in free agency, not making the big move, once again, it was coming into fruition. And then day two happened, right? But it's not saying I didn't love what happened on day one, right? I love the Jeff Okuda signing. Hold on, love's a very fucking strong word. I like the signing, right? I think it doesn't hinder you from bringing in someone else or drafting one to draft. I like the Danico Humphrey signing. I am a big fan of the Aziz Al Shair signing. So
Mm-hmm.
all those signings, right? Good, 3 starters right there, and then you also brought in a punter, Tommy Townsend from the Chiefs, who was an All-Pro last year. So you're bringing an experience like that, and day two happens, right? But the reaction to day one was insane. And it was all warranted. But let's be honest, it was underwhelming, right? You're thinking you're getting Christian Wilkins, you're thinking you're getting Saquon, and you don't have none of them. The needs you still had entering day one, you still had them. And I went at night thinking, what the hell was Nick Caserio doing? I think we were all worried. And that's when the same old Houston Texans slogan came back in the back of your mind. And I hate that slogan so much. I hate that saying because I don't believe we are the same Houston Texans. And Nick Caserio showed it, right? First, it was traded for Joe Mixon. And the type of running back play that we wanted from Saquon Barkley, we wanted from DeAndre Swift, that's exactly the type of play we are going to get from Joe Mixon. A captain for the Cincinnati Bengals coming off of 1,000 yards and double-digit touchdowns. The trade for him was surprising because he was set to be a free agent, but Joe Mixon, Nick Caserio did not want to get into another bidding war for him, and maybe the contract that he signed is a bigger contract if we get into a bidding war, because I didn't think Nick Caserio wanted to lose one, and that was a start. We were all excited about Joe Mixon. This offense finally gets a boost. When you look at the running game last year, I mean, it was piss poor. It wasn't the Damian Pierce show. It was Devin Singletary's show. And you only had 3 100-yard rushing performances all year, and all 3 of them were victories. So I can only imagine the type of production we get with Joe Mixon and the offensive line finally being healthy. Then a couple of hours later was Danielle Hunter. 16 and a half sacks, 4-time Pro Bowler. And when you find out that he takes less money to come to his hometown to try to win a Super Bowl with D'Amico Ryans, right? You love that move even more. And
Huge.
Mm-hmm.
if you would have just swapped the days, if you would have done Joe Mixon and Danielle Hunter day one, and Okuda, Entree, all them day two, you would have heard no one complain. However, that's not how life works. That's not how the NFL works. Nothing's gonna go your way. We weren't even talking about Joe Mixon and Danielle Hunter. Now we are so excited that they are on the team. So shout out to General Manager Nick Caserio, right? He put his nuts on the table and he spent money in free agency. He did the big deal and he knows what he has. He has a superstar quarterback on a rookie deal. And think about it, guys. What did he do in New England? He built around a superstar quarterback. That's exactly what he's doing right now. He's in his element. He's going to get more comfortable. More moves are going to be made. You already have your foundation pieces. Now it's just adding those extra, chinks on the armor to get you a little bit further.
Yeah, without a doubt, I couldn't agree with both of you guys more. I think, that last thing you said about CJ, as we all know, being on a rookie deal, now is the time to build around him, as we've been saying for the past month and a half, even leading up to free agency. Now is the time to do it. I think where we kind of tricked ourselves a little bit, and I really do think it was close. It wasn't just smoke blowing up our asses about Saquon. I think he wanted to come here. I think he did.
I think he uses as
I think so,
leverage.
man. I'll
I
be
think
for
he
real. Come
uses
on,
as leverage.
man.
I think
I,
it
Come
was
on,
I,
man.
today. I think it was today he was talking about how his daughter said, "Oh, because you signed with Philly, does that mean we get to win now?" And kind of
yep.
meaning that they've been talking about Philly. He's
Yeah.
from there, so maybe
Yeah.
he was using the "I want to come to Houston" as leverage to get money somewhere else, which is fine. I've seen it happen
Yeah.
before. Right,
Yeah.
but don't tickle my balls and don't say, "Hey, man, I want to be on your roster," right? And then
Don't
when
tease
you
Yeah.
me,
go
baby.
somewhere
Don't
else.
tease
But
me.
I like
Yeah.
I like what we got in Joe Mixon. If you would have told me
Yeah.
you didn't get Saquon Barkley, but you got Joe Mixon, I would say, well, okay, let's ride, let's go, let's see what we can do.
Yeah, let's go. Hey, Texans County, let's ride. You know what I mean? Like,
Right, man.
Oh
nah, honestly though, in all seriousness, you're right. It could have truly been a money grab, and that's what it seems to be at the end of the day. Leverage. I think what I was trying to say is I think maybe at the beginning he did want to come here, and then it turned into a money grab in the sense where
Mhm.
he knew what he was going to get before Monday started last week. I think Saturday, Sunday, he went into it knowing what the market was going to be like, and I think we went into it knowing that Casario was only going to go up to a certain number. He's not gonna cave in for Saquon. And in all regards, I'm excited that he did not. Like you said, if you would have told us the week before when we didn't know anything that okay, we're not going to get Saquon, we're not going to make a run at Josh Jacobs, we're not even going to get Aaron Jones, but we're going to get Joe Mixon. I'm completely happy with that, and
Yeah.
he's younger, and they locked him down long term. And let's go rock and roll. Let's address the draft now, and let's get things going. You know what I mean?
I would say now though, our window is now. It's these next 2 years, right? You put Dalton Schultz on a 3 year. You did Laramie, Howard, Shaq Mason on 3 years last year, so they got 2 years left on their deals, right? And then you're gonna have to worry about Nico Collins next year. And man, I'm getting worried, man. I'm like, the clock's already ticking, in year one just happened. That's the beauty of the NFL. But the moment to win is now for this team, this young team.
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely. I kind of want to. I guess let's get into the discussion as to where we kind of expect them to finish.
Mm.
Division wise, league wise, and then I kind of want to get into overall NFL predictions. Where do you see us fitting in? Where do you see the Texans, the Cowboys, the Chiefs? Where do you see kind of the top tier of the NFL now fitting in, and where do we fit in with that class? But kind of moving on, just a tidbit here. What
Mm.
are your early forecasts? And we haven't even keep in mind we haven't even gotten through the draft yet.
I know.
What Nick, like you said, you brought up a good point. He's probably nowhere near done making moves. I think if we keep that second round pick that he traded for with the Vikings, I think it's for a bigger deal. I don't see us particularly staying at that spot, albeit it's not a bad spot. So where
At 42 or 59.
I think the one at 42, right? That's the one that we got from the Vikings. So I think
Yeah.
I don't know, but I guess talk about real quickly here. What do you see them doing with that pick? And then I guess kind of
Mhm.
where you see them kind of starting the year off next year.
Well, I think I'm with you, man. I feel like there is still a big move coming, right? Remember, we
Yeah.
almost had Keenan Allen. The only reason why Keenan Allen is
Mhm.
not a Houston Texan is because the Chargers decided not to send him here. We offered them a better deal than the Chicago Bears. I mean, smart by
Yep.
them. If you would have gave us Keenan Allen, start engraving the damn Lombardi right now. I definitely think there's still a move to be made. Nick Caserio's definitely looking, right? And he did one today, bringing back Derek Barnett, and shout out to Barnett for
Oh, thank
for
God.
what he
Underrated
did, and
move.
um, underrated move, dude, and really played a lot of football for you in the playoffs. And this is someone who wasn't on your 53-man roster, so excited for him returning. But at pick 42 and at pick 59, I'm looking at whatever defensive tackle is there, whatever wide receivers there, whatever cornerbacks there, or linebacker, right? We've heard a lot of good things of Edrin Cooper from A&M. He had a top 30
Yep.
visit with us. To me, I did a mock draft earlier today, and I had Lad McConkey at 42, and if he's there at 42, I don't know how you don't take one of the best route runners in this draft class. And then at pick 59, I had with Tavondre Sweat, defensive lineman for Texas. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of talent in the second round, and like Nick said in the interview a couple of days ago, that doesn't mean that we can't move it back into the first round. So I wonder what the hell is going to happen, but a trade is going to happen, right? Nick Casario has traded in pretty much every single draft class. I mean, last year the only guy you didn't trade up for was C.J. Stroud, but you traded up for Juice Scruggs, you traded up for Will, you traded up for Tank Dell, you traded up for Jared Patterson. So we know a move is coming, but it's exciting, and it doesn't feel like the Houston Texans are done yet.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think that from a draft standpoint, there's going to be something up our sleeve. Whether we stay at 42 is going to be really interesting to see. I think that it's going to be huge no matter what. I guess now transitioning a little bit after the draft, where do you kind of see things kind of starting off at the beginning of the year? I know we play some great games. The NFC is going to be a big part of our season next year. We play the NFC North. We play the Dallas Cowboys. We play the Bills at home, the Ravens at home. Not even knowing the schedule date-wise yet. How do you see us kind of fitting in with a lot of those big-time teams? And now we're here. We're one of them. So now it's a matter of let's get up and go and let's make that run, right? Now, like you said, the window's open. Now's the time, which is crazy because 2 years ago we were talking about number 1, number 2 overall draft choices. Well, now look at us. So I guess kind of forecasting from both of you guys, and I want to hear from you, Staten, as well, especially kind of, I don't want to compare by any means, but I guess what I want to see is your thoughts on kind of where we fit, with the ranks of the Dallas Cowboys, with the ranks of the Chiefs, with the ranks of all these top teams. Now the Cowboys, I
gotta ask Staten, man, how did
Right.
you feel about the Cowboys not doing anything in free agency?
Man, how do I feel? I think it's just, I don't know if Jerry's just trying to save money right now. I don't know if Dak is just eating too much of a contract. Is this something against Dak? Just because I know there's been some news going on with him. I mean, allegedly, sexually assaulting somebody or something like that. And just, I don't know if it's just something inside the Cowboys organization isn't going right. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, this is just like some sort of a cue to get him out of here. Is this just like, Jerry's kind of just adamant on, I don't have to spend money. I can win with the guys I got. I'm happy with keeping Mike McCarthy as head coach. I'm happy with X, Y, and Z's. Just overall, it's very disappointed. It just really hurts because we could really digress or really took a step back, man. We lose Michael Gallup. We didn't find any way of trying to replace Tony Pollard. We still have CeeDee Lamb. Outside of that, I'm not very happy with us not picking up another linebacker just because our linebacker core was very soft last year. We had Micah Parsons kind of playing more of defensive end, blitzing. We need a lot more coverage guys. Our run stopping game was just awful. I'm not a big fan of Van Der Esch anymore. I think it's just getting to that point where it's like you're Sean Lee 2.0. So it's like you're injured for multiple games out of a season, and it hurts us come playoff time.
He gone. That's the other. The other thing.
Yeah,
that's a good point you bring up because they just cut him yesterday, day before.
So I'm saying you're not rebuilding anything. You're just kind of complacent with what you got. And I don't see us doing anything come draft night. We might pick up another lineman or a defensive end or maybe a corner or something. I haven't really been paying attention too much to offseason as of right now, just because the Cowboys have really made it hard for me to look into anything. But as far as we go right now, I don't see us finishing first place in our division. I see not Cowboys, but the Eagles taking it all. I think that they're going to be very competitive, but I think we're just going to have the same issue. We can't win games on the road. We can't close out games on the road. We can't close out games against top competitors. We play down their competition. Teams we should beat, like the Green Bay Packers, we should beat them in the wild card round, right? At home, you got the home field advantage, everything. You let Jordan Love look like the second coming of Aaron Rodgers. So it's kind of like I'm not happy for next season. I'm not going to lie to you. So I might not tune in too much, but I'm still trying to be hopeful. Somewhere in the back of my mind, I'm going to be hopeful. But, I mean, I'll say, all right, go for it, Akron. You got it.
No, I respect it. Like I said, whenever you want to, whenever you just need that little end of the bench seat, I'll put just a little Texan hat, just a little little Bill hat, just for you. And no, I'm kidding. Look, I think when it comes to the Cowboys, there's a lot of needs. That's what it sounds like. They're not rebuilding by any means, but there's just a lot of needs a lot of holes they need to fill, and they maybe they have a bigger plan in the draft. I don't know.
We'll see.
It's going to be interesting to kind of predict how their division goes and where they rank as far as with us. Something I want to ask you guys though, while we're talking to the Cowboys, do you guys plan on going to that Texans Cowboys game this year up in Arlington?
I hope it's on Thanksgiving, and I hope that we beat that ass because I was looking at, I was paying attention to what Dallas was doing and what they're lacking for agency. I was like, oh,
Yep.
this is a team that's that's not going to be good next year. And
Yeah.
I think the Packers really killed you guys, man. And I think it's more of a mental thing now that no matter who it is on the other side of who's throwing the football or who's coaching, once you see that green and a gold, you're just not gonna win the game. But will I go to it? We are thinking about it here. I do live stream every single game. However, I I don't think I could pass up, going to Jerry's World and
I know.
seeing CJ Stroud really just throw
I
all over
know.
them and announce himself because that would hurt the Cowboys, right? Because it hurt the Tennessee Titans. From what we heard, they are very upset of how successful we are so early into the career of CJ Stroud, and they try to embarrass us with those uniforms. We ended up beating them. That's what got Mike Vrabel fired. And I think it'll be the same. I think the Texans go in and just, really, really shock Dallas. And if you're asking me, like how do I see us playing out? It's definitely going to be tough. We're going to have a first place schedule, and if I see them go 10-7 again like they did this year, I will not be mad whatsoever because you are going against some of the top teams in the NFL. I think we're playing against 9 playoff teams. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
for the Houston Texans in year 2 to go another 10 wins and fight for their division, I think we should have the division locked up. I'm
Yeah.
more worried about the Jags than I am the other 2 teams based on what they did in free agency. But I think the Texans should be up there fighting for the division, and you have us that wild card will be a dangerous wild card, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I obviously couldn't agree more. I think, like you mentioned, 9 of those teams are playoff teams, so it's gonna be really exciting to see with another year under our belt with the same coaching.
Mhm.
All love to D'Amico Ryans with the same quarterback. All love to CJ Stroud, right? And our new reimagined defense. I think this
Mhm.
defense can handle any of those guys. I think that we can handle Baltimore now. You know what I mean? Now, and they got Derrick
Mm.
Henry. As we all know, they got King Henry, but I think the telltale all is going to be our now when it gets down to the last 2 minutes of game, we can hang our hats on this front seven that we got, and
Oh yeah.
really, Derek Stingley, right? We still got him. You still got Jalen Petrie. I still think that they are going to sign another corner or draft someone, right?
Mhm.
But my point is, I think this defense is gonna go a long way this year in terms of hanging with those big boys, and we're one of them now. We're not just
Mhm.
the same team that we were of years past. It's going to be really exciting to see. And I'm looking forward to those primetime games. I hope that's a great point because I didn't even think about Thanksgiving. That
Yeah,
that would be
no, I
awesome to
do.
see us play.
Like you would think maybe Jerry does not want it to be Thanksgiving, right? Because he don't want to see his team get their ass beat on a national holiday. Um, but we've seen it before, right? The Bills, the Redskins with RG3. Remember that game? Jesus, oh my
Man,
God, RG3 lit the Cowboys up his rookie year. But no, that's a game that's once again a battle for Texas.
yep, it truly, truly is. Staten, look, I'll let you have the little spotlight with Dallas again. How do you see that game going against the Cowboys this year?
Dude, we're getting our ass Millie Rock on every block. I mean, nah, dude, we might get smoked out, man. Like high key, it might get real dangerous because if we don't make no moves by then, we don't pick up anything. I it's gonna be very It's gonna be a massacre come Thursday. We might lose our Thursday or our Thanksgiving spot, man, to the Texans. Not gonna lie to you. Um, no, I'm so for real when I say that. Like, we might lose our spot. But overall, man, like I said, they're still in year two. They still are a young team, but man, they are a good team, and they have a lot of talent. And coming into Arlington, coming into Jerry World, Cowboys going to do what they try to do, but just I like D'Amico Ryans, man. I like him a lot. I like Slowick. Um, I just think it's going to be either a close game or the Texans are going to blow us out. I don't see it the other way around. I can't see us blowing out the Texans, man. They're dogs in that team. Will Anderson, Daniel Hunter, CJ, obviously, Joe Mixon. That's going to be a tough game for us to win, man.
Yeah, I certainly think I think it's gonna be close. I don't know. I can see us going in there slinging the rock around with CJ, but I don't know. It's very early, right? We got to get through the draft. Let's see how the teams are.
Flinging that rock at least 350 minimum. Obviously, I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah.
Nah, but hey, I appreciate the wide prediction there, but I think we're gonna know. We're gonna know. What's that?
Yeah. Now I'm trying to give our praise. I'm not trying to sit up here and just blow y'all up, but it's like that team's legit.
No, you're good.
Because like Ruben was saying, man, I didn't expect the Texans to really be all in like that, but the fact that second day I woke up and I'm seeing like all these guys picking up big time guys, Mixon and Hunter, and I always butcher his name, Shair.
Yeah, Aziz.
Aziz Al-Shire.
El-Shire, yeah, man. Picking those guys up, and you know how legit they are, all pros and multi-Pro Bowlers and whatnot, along with the fact you still have C.J. Stroud, you still have Nick Collins and whatnot. And I think you guys were just a piece or two. Going back to that Baltimore game, that playoff game, it's hard to stop Lamar Jackson. It's Lamar Jackson, two-time league MVP. He's going to run all over anybody. But I think
except the Chiefs. Except the Chiefs.
Except the Chiefs. You know, when you pay the refs off just enough. That's like I said, man. Texas is formidable, and I'm not going to give the lead predictions just yet. Once we get into that subject, but they're a nice team. So.
Yeah, no, I'm excited, and as you can tell, I know my boy Ruben here is too. Like he hit the nail on the head when he said that it's gonna be gritty. I think the term is gonna be a gritty, electric season because of the 9 playoff teams that we play, and that's just the fact of the matter. But with that comes more, with that comes more primetime games. With that comes more, chances to see CJ in the limelight, and I'm excited. I'm truly excited for that. I guess before we get in, because I want to, once we get into the latter half here, I kind of want to definitely close things out with I want to talk about uniforms and all that other good stuff. But any other things that you kind of want to add on the upcoming season, Ruben, or anything you kind of see going, or you ready to rock and roll? You just excited?
No, the excitement is at an all-time high, and I think every day I've asked myself, can this team go to the Super Bowl? And I see the talent that we've added. I see the quarterback that we have. Bringing back Bobby Slowick and Gerard Johnson were huge for this offense. And you add a Joe Mixon, you add a Daniil Hunter, you add in an Aziz Al-Shire. And that's why I think maybe there is still something in the works for Nick, because you win these next 2 years and you have a hard schedule right now, dude, but I am ready to go, and I am expecting this Houston Texans team to make a deep playoff run and have a chance to get to their first ever Super Bowl, man.
Hell yeah. I think that certainly is in the forecast, the potential forecast for this year. I'm damn excited. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and I'm counting down the Sundays with baseball season coming up. At least we have the Astros starting, but counting down the Sundays till we get back to football. So
absolutely,
yeah. With that being said, though, I kind of want to get into a couple of fun segments with you. I know that The big talk the day before last was the uniforms, and so let me make sure I pull up. I want to make sure I pull up the first picture first because I want to get
Yeah. Bring out the leak,
obviously.
bro.
Yeah, I know that. I know you gave your reaction a little bit, but I just want to have you piggyback. Let's see here. I think it's this one. Yeah. So this leaked. As we all know, this leaked on Twitter. Prior to the official leak by Cal McNair. We'll get to that in a second. But when you saw this dude in this dusty ass warehouse, he's obviously not a football player. I gotta ask Ruben, what immediately? And I saw you in the Twitter spaces too. I've been going in there and listening to you guys, and I've been talking a little bit. But I want to know. What was your immediate thought to that picture?
No, I was just like, are they dead ass? Like, is this what you got us excited for? And and I'm like, that's not even Derek Stingley. I'm like, who the hell is that? And I was just like, man, that pose right there. Like, there's no swagger, like, there's no aura to this, man. And with that camera light, and that angle, it looked like the Atlanta Falcons one, dude. And everyone was upset, and everyone had a right to be when the photo like that leaked. It leaked on Reddit first, and then it made its way onto Twitter. And from what we originally have heard, we were gonna have 4 new uniforms around April. Then this leak comes out, and just everyone is upset. It's ugly, and then Cal McNair, drops the jersey with better lighting and with Nico and Tank about 2 hours later, and it did it some justice.
Yep. Staten, what was your immediate thought to kind of seeing this on social media?
Dog, that passed my Twitter screen, dog. I immediately wanted to text you. I should have done it too, man. They had your boy looking bad out there, man. Ruben said, man, the Falcons, man, it gave you like the Bucks vibes. Remember the Bucks and their jerseys? Like, I don't know why that color. Or the Jags, man, you look like the Jags out there, dude. With Saxonville jerseys. But I mean, like I said, with Nico in them, with the new my bad, the new photo that they had dropped, it does them a little justice. It's not the most like whoa sort of thing, but it is something that happy for Texans to get the new little jerseys or whatever. Side note, I really wish they would bring back the color rush jerseys, high key, because that'd be kind of dope. But I'm not too mad. You know what I mean? It's clean. It's dope. I wish they would just change up the helmet a little more.
Yeah, and I think bless you. I think what we're really expecting is exactly that. Is because there's all this talk that we're probably going to have. And correct me if I'm wrong, Ruben. What I've been hearing is at least three different helmets this coming year. I could be wrong though. It could be 4, but I've been hearing 3. I've been hearing that number a lot.
You guys get 4. That'd be nice.
Yeah, that would be phenomenal.
I've heard 3 as well, and then I heard that there's 3 more uniforms coming out. I'm excited to see what the Battle Red one looks like. Texans, he does great Photoshop work, and he dropped his ideas of it, and man, that got me excited. It looked like he looked just like Power Rangers out there, and I was hype. And H-Town Blue, throwback to the Orders. I think one of those is coming out. So there's a lot of excitement for the uniforms, man. And with these, they did it a little justice. I'm not saying I'm a huge fan of these. Harley brought it up on a live yesterday. Are these better than the current Houston Texan home uniforms or away uniforms? It's a toss up. It's a toss up. So I'm excited to see what the other 3 are, and April couldn't come quick enough.
Yeah, April's gonna be a big month. I'm excited for the draft. My birthday's in April, so getting some jerseys would definitely be a dope birthday present. Nice. But as far as the jerseys go, yeah, I think seeing it not on that whoever that scrub was in that dusty warehouse. I like seeing it on actual players.
Come out.
Yeah, I think seeing it on Nico and Tank does it, like you said, a little bit justice. Not a huge fan because it's not it's not far off from what we already had.
Yeah.
Aside from they added the horns on the side, it's the same helmet. Obviously, you can if you're one of those that was zooming in, you can see at least there's a red stripe on the pants now. But I think that having some diversity with different colored helmets, maybe keeping that red helmet or putting the horns on the side on an alternate jersey, a black jersey, man, if we get something like that, that's I'm rocking with. That's the jersey I want. You know what I mean?
Talk about Falcon style.
Man, I don't know.
Not
See,
Falcon
all these
style,
people are talking.
Arizona style.
Yeah, exactly. No, but all these people are comparing it to the Falcons. I personally don't see it. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong here.
Nah, bro. They look exactly like the Falcons, dude. And
you think so? Okay.
Man, yes, dude. Like, hold on. Let me see the picture that I.
He's like, hold on, let me pull it
like,
up.
oh, yeah, because I was upset for an hour, dude. Like, legit. I was like visibly disgusted, and I was like, what the hell are these, dude? Like, is this really what we were, bro? Like, you gonna tell me those don't look like these, dude?
I got you.
Like, I was.
I mean, pretty damn close. Pretty damn close. Look, I ain't even spelling Atlanta right, but it's okay. I mean, yeah,
it's
pretty damn
right?
close. Pretty damn close. It's man.
I'm not mad at you.
I gotta stop sharing my screen because that's just gonna make me mad.
Turn it off.
Like, I'm pretty sure once we see CJ Stroud in there, we're gonna be like, "Oh, these uniforms are fucking insane."
No, they are. I feel like on him, Joe Mixon, Danielle Hunter, Will Anderson, they're all gonna make him look fucking dope. Like it's gonna be badass. With that being said, though, I appreciate your feedback on the uniforms. I was itching to get yours on it because I know, like I said, I got in that Twitter Spaces the other day with you guys and was kind of hearing everybody talk about it. And man, I was with everybody because at first all we had was that damn leaked photo, so we had nothing to go off but that scrubbing it. But with that being said, though, last little segment, Staten and I kind of wanted to have a little bit of fun with you here. Before we get, kind of close things out here in just a bit. But so as you know, I'm sure you're, I guess, let me ask you real quickly here. One last question. Are you more of an Astros fan as well? I know you ride with the Astros too. Are you more into baseball, like outside of NFL? Are you more into baseball or basketball or all three?
I'm into all three. I would go Texans, I would go Astros, and I would go Rockets.
Okay.
But I keep my tabs on all three.
Yep.
Next week I should be doing a Astro stream on Bleacher Report with Harley, so we're definitely getting ready for that. But yeah, I follow those as well. Also, like UFC, WWE, all that good stuff,
boy.
man, all that good stuff.
Don't get me started, boy. Let's start tweaking out. I heard WWE, man.
Bro, I'm excited. Yeah. Dude. I really am. Like, it's crazy. All right, well, fuck it. So night one, I think Seth's gonna turn on Cody, like 100%, 100%. And then I think night two, I think The Rock is gonna turn on Roman to set up their match at next year's WrestleMania main event. But I'm wondering who else is gonna come out to help Cody to fight the Bloodline. Is it gonna be CM Punk? Right? He said he's gonna be there. Stone Cold's been fucking working out and posting that shit on Instagram.
I've seen that.
Like, imagine hearing the glass shatter and it's fucking Stone Cold. Or what if it's John Cena? I mean, come on, dude. Like,
I can see John Cena.
Dude, it's gonna be insane, and I cannot wait for it.
Nah, I think, like you were saying, I think for night two, like they're gonna have. I think that Cody, I don't know if The Rock's going to interfere. I think Cody's going to try to get the belt off of Roman. I think The Rock's going to interfere. All hope is lost. And you hear that glass shatter, right? And they're going to set up. I think they're going to have a tag team match. Obviously because the Rock being at his age, Stone Cold with the knee problems at his age, they're going to have some sort of tag team match just to run it back. It's sold out in Philly. They're going to do something, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But my own concern is, man, are they going to get the belt from Roman, or are they going to keep moving on?
Absolutely, because because once Cody wins the belt, you could still have the bloodline wars. It's gonna be
Yeah.
Roman versus The Rock, and they're gonna be going back and forth the entire year. While Cody, who is on TV every single week, is gonna have the belt, and it's gonna defend it against whoever. But then that begs the question, like, is it even worth taking the belt off of Roman if you're only just gonna have Cody just defending it every week, and it kind of loses its prestige, right? Because what, Roman's had the belt for almost 3 years now,
Yeah,
three,
3 4 years now.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So I mean, I don't know, but I'm just excited for what happens. I'm excited for the women's match. Io Sky versus Bailey.
that's
That
gonna
whole
be good.
damage control thing going. LA Knight, AJ Styles. I mean, I'm excited for the card, dude. I
It's gonna be,
cannot wait.
dude. It's gonna be a good one, man. I'm just trying to see playing ahead of the game all the way to the next WrestleMania, and even leading up to that next WrestleMania. Like the year goes out, I can see them, taking the belt for Roman. I can see them going with Cody for a while, and then you got Punk coming back. Once Punk gets back, I think they're going to get into it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And that's going to be some good promos here and there. That's going to be some good matches. They're talking about the AEW stuff. Oh man, we're AEW guys, and they're going to get some good stuff out of them. But I just don't know where they're going to go. You know what I mean? I can see them trying to do night one with Roman and Cody. He loses the belt. Now Roman has to fight The Rock the next night. I don't know what's going to happen.
Hmm.
You know?
Feel that. Feel that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. No, that's all good stuff, man. So, hey,
Yeah,
anytime you
man.
want to talk wrestling with us, Staten's your guy, brother, because he loves
Yes, yes.
WWE. I'm slowly trying to get into it. I know, obviously, a good amount of their wrestlers and stuff, and I think it's badass that Stone Cold, might be, coming back for an appearance or whatever. But nah, Staten definitely knows a lot about it. So I think it's fantastic that you love the WWE too. But yeah, I mean, we you're gonna laugh whenever you hear who he's a fan of, but we definitely, this is kind of how our podcast all started, because at the time we were very very heavy into the NBA, which we still are. And shout out to the Rockets. I put up that flag behind me just because they're on a 7-game win streak. Who
Yep.
knows if they make the play in or not? I'm not counting on it, but you know what? I'm just glad that they're
Hey, they're
back.
one game out.
1 game out. I know, but Staten's a Lakers fan. I'm a big time Rockets fan.
I'm a LeBron fan. I'm not a Lakers fan. Let's be for real. They're not getting
And then obviously we're both Astros fans, man. Big time
Yeah.
Astros fans. So I'm happy the season's back. I think we should have got Blake Snell. I know that
Yeah, but
that's
I
a
wasn't
huge
paying all that
discussion.
money. I
Nah,
wasn't
we
paying
weren't gonna give him that much.
Yeah.
Jim Crane, we're still holding on a thread if we're gonna pay Bregman or not. So I didn't see us getting Blake Snell.
Y'all
man.
paying
Like,
Bregman, man. Be for real. Y'all paying Bregman.
We are. Yeah. Come on. You can't let that go.
we
You
can't let him go, bro. We have to.
Yeah,
We have to pay him.
Man,
Yeah,
I'm
you're
telling
gonna
you,
take care of
y'all
him,
gonna put a
man.
package together.
And this is the, this is the. I feel like this is the start of the decline. I feel like
Yeah.
this is the start of us, kind of rescinding down and kind of staying alive. Kind of making, the early parts of the postseason and wild card and stuff like that. But I was talking to my pops the other day, and he was like, "Man, I see the downfall of the Astros coming, and maybe they blow it up, but they'll be back pretty soon." But then again, you never know when you have guys like Jose Altuve, Jordan Alvarez. I mean, I'm excited
Yeah.
what Joe Espada could do, and you saw the adjustments that he made in the World Series, and there was a game where the Astros came back because of what he did. Putting in John Singleton, he walks and boom, home run, let's
Yep.
freaking go. I'm excited for the Astros, and they're not done yet. They are a dynasty. With the Rockets, man, maybe I lose some money. I predicted them not to make the play-in tournament, and a while right there proved me right. However, these last 7 games, Jalen Green is becoming who we thought he was. And the only thing I would say though, this is kind of
something at Dre and Michelle
like
Bathwater.
it's like he always does this. He always turns it on at the end of the season.
Yep.
So it's like, okay, we need to see you do this a full 80 games. However, let's say he gets you into the play-in, and we don't even have Alper and Sengun. If he gets you into the play-in by himself, I mean, maybe we see the emergence, and maybe you might see this team make a run. You don't know. When you're hot, you're hot. And
Yep.
right now, Jalen Green's hot. So I mean, like, how many games we have left? 19, 18, 15?
I think there's 16. I think there's 16 games left.
Okay.
So that's
16. Oh.
So I mean, they're buying into the coaching staff, and also he's having a kid. So it's like you need to ball out, bro. Like, if not, dude, like,
he
you're
has
not
no
gonna feed your
choice.
family. You got no choice but to ball out. And as soon as he had the
Jordan
baby,
Michelle
man,
is
now he's dropping 26. He's 11
dropping
rebounds.
42.
Dropping 42. He's slamming on people. He's breaking ankles. He's doing shit we've never ever seen before. Oh, because he's popping out a kid, man. Crazy.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I mean, honestly, I don't care if they finish the season 41-41 and don't make the plan. I just want to see more wins than last year, which we damn sure already got, but just improvement, and then build off of that. And then next season, take off. It's time to take off. You got Şengün. Let's go.
Let's do it.
But yeah, no, that's what's that?
No, I just said, like, let's do it. Yeah, like, let's go.
Yeah, hell yeah. Time to rock and roll. But nonetheless, that's all good stuff, man. Happy to hear that. In some sense, you backing me up with the Rockets, because I know this man over here, he's holding on to LeBron as long as he can.
I can't do it.
And then very excited. Yep.
Yeah.
We're very excited for baseball season though, and all the things to come. And you're right. What's that?
No, I was like, hell yeah, man. Like, I'm excited for the Astros too, and we should try to catch a game out there together.
Oh yeah. Maybe we collab. You bring your boy Harley, man. I'd love to meet him. He seems like very knowledgeable, man, about what he talks about. And I love his content. Yeah.
Yeah, he's real funny, man.
Yeah. We'll definitely plan something. Whether it's going to a couple of Stros games or even Texans training camp this year, we will be there. I promise you that. We'll get something in the works going.
Yeah, no, I'll be at every single one that they open up to the public. So, I'm looking forward to it.
Hell yeah. We just got to get them tickets. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. But with that being said, though, I want to end it on one last little tidbit here. And it's going to be, a little segment, my boy Staten and I drew up. So the reason I brought up the NBA, and I wanted to ask you real quickly here about the NBA and the MLB and just kind of what you follow, WWE, that matter. You know how on NBA on TNT with Shaq and all them, they always do one segment. I think it's on Thursdays. They do who he play for, and Charles Barkley can never. If he had to save his life by naming one of these dudes, and who,
never get him
or
right.
at least get the team right, he don't know shit. So me and Staten kind of scoured the internet, because obviously we're big NFL fans, but we're not NFL fans to where we know fucking. I mean, I will say 2 of these players you're gonna know, probably, most likely, but the other 2, I don't know, because I didn't even know them. But I'm gonna do a little. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start off pulling them up one by one, and then we'll go from there. So this is current player. His name is Jamie Gillan, and I'll give you a hint. It's nothing you see on the bottom, or the top for that matter. Who does Jamie Gillan play for? I'll give you another hint. He's a punter. If you just had to guess.
Jeez, that's crazy. Let me go ahead and say Seattle Seahawks.
Ooh, damn. Nah, he plays for the Giants. He plays for the Giants.
So now you know your boy's a Houston fan. Every other team can kick rocks, bro.
All right, let's do the next one here. We got 3 more. Hold on, let me pull them up. All right. So this one we're a lot more familiar with, and you probably know just from keeping up with free agency. But who does he play for now?
Who does Eli Apple play for right now? I'm not sure who Eli Apple plays for right now. Last I checked, he was with the Miami Dolphins, man. We saw him at training camp, and I had pointed to him, and I had said, hey Eli, you're burnt toast, and he looked at me and he pointed at me and laughed. I mean, last I checked, he was with the Dolphins. I'm not sure if he's on another team.
Yeah, no, he's still on the Dolphins. You got it right. You got it right.
Yeah. No, so he was walking by, and I said, "Hey, Eli," and he turned and looked at me, and I was like, "I know, barbecue chicken when I see it, right?" And he laughed, and he pointed at me, and then the whole crowd started laughing as well. But yeah, he got burnt by Nico, like 5 minutes later. And then when he was walking back, I was like, "I fucking told you," and then it was fun.
Man, Eli Apple's burnt toast ass, man. We all know. We all know.
Hey man,
we
but to
all
be in the
know.
league for as long as he is, man, shout out to him, dude.
You ain't lying. Man, you ain't lying. Because he somehow still finds himself on teams, and it don't make no sense.
Like we be saying these dudes, I mean, because like he's an okay corner. It's just once he sees that double move, man, he's biting every single time.
Every time.
It's like it's I could run a double move, and he'll fake out on that bid. So it's like, but, he'll give you 1 to 2 good plays a game. You feel me?
Yeah. He's not up there with the top corners of the game.
Yeah.
But all right, this one. I mean, obviously, I know Leonard Floyd. Staten, I'm not sure if you know Leonard Floyd or knew who he was before this. Who he play for now?
Well, I am not sure. I'm not even trying to cheat here. I'm trying to guess. I mean, I would.
Nah, you're good.
I mean, I would.
I'll give you a hint. It's still on the West Coast.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
So like you said on the West Coast?
Yeah.
I mean, so is he now with the Rams, and who's he with?
He's with the 49ers now. I think he just signed with them like a couple days ago. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
hey, it makes you feel better. I didn't know.
You're all right. I think you're all right. Yeah, he just signed with the 49ers.
All right, last one here. Now this is a former player. And Staten picked this one just because his name. I'm gonna let Staten introduce this one. All you have to just take a guess on the last team he played for. That'll make it easy.
All right.
Who'd this man play for?
Ashton, your booty. Let me see.
Just a guess, man. Who was the last team he played for? I'm over here trying to find the right answer to. Oh, here we go.
So
I'll give you a little easier hint. Oh hell no! This was 10 years ago. I think he stopped playing in 2011. But I'll give you a hint. I'll give you a hint. It was in our division.
Which one of these dumbasses was signed a dude named Your Booty? That sounds like a Tennessee Titan, bro.
Close. It was the Jags.
Damn.
Oh, God.
Is that not him in the Titans uniform right there, though?
I think he used to play for Titans. Didn't he?
No, he actually played for the Bills and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He might have been in training camp with some of these teams, but look, he's even got a Jets jersey on.
Bro. So
hopefully,
what's
that?
No, I was sitting there trying to say, Ashton Ubley, man, he came to mind, man, because I used to watch this dude on YouTube called Duke the Killer, and he made a video about Ashton Ubley, right? And it's one of the things that's just burned in my mind, man. It's some of the funniest shit I've ever seen. Oh my God! But you just want to test your knowledge a little bit, see what you can do this individual.
Hey man, that's good, man.
Man, what a time to be alive that was, man. Well, look, without further ado, I'm gonna let Staten obviously give his thanks as well, but I want to say on behalf of the City Boys Pod as a whole, we really, really thank you for being on with us today, Ruben. Kind of spreading your knowledge and taking, your time to really, just get on and chop shop with us, brother. We
Mhm.
could not thank you, enough for being on. I'm excited to continue watching your content. I'm excited
Yeah,
for us to tune into your live streams and continue to support you as well. We're right there with you, brother, and excited for the journey. But like I said, I couldn't thank you enough to be on with us again, and I really hope potentially, maybe we can be on with you and Harley sometime, or get on with
absolutely.
you guys. If you guys are gracious enough to host us, we would love to be on you guys' platforms as well, and just talk sports, talk football, talk Texans, of course, Astros, Rockets, anything you guys want. Um, but yeah, again, just a huge thank you.
Yeah, no, 100%, guys, and thank you for allowing me to come on. And anytime, man, just hit me up. And like if I don't answer, I gave you my number as well. It's pretty easy to reach me, but anytime, and for sure, man, we could plan something maybe later this week or next week. As we start getting into draft mode and finishing up free agency, man. No, this was fun. Thank you for having me on, and I'm looking forward to more great things, man. You guys are doing great.
Of course, and we really
Appreciate it.
appreciate that. Staten, you want to add something?
Nah, man, we just want to really thank you again for bringing you on, man. Just take a time every day to be with us. Dropping a lot of knowledge, man, a lot of motivational stuff, man. I felt uplifted. You trying to tell us, man, keep grinding and keep pushing, because, like I said, we're at that point right now at the very beginning where we're kind
Yeah.
of cranking it out. It's a couple of views here and there, but just hearing from your perspective and how you started off and where you're at now, kind of just uplifted us a little bit. It lifted me
Yeah.
definitely. So definitely gonna take by your word and keep pushing these out. Because we love this stuff, man. We love putting out videos. We love talking sports, talking about pop culture, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, definitely, man. Appreciate you for coming on with us.
Yeah, man. Like I understand the grind and dude, I remember, my lowest video being 5 views, 28 views. So I understand the grind it takes to get to these thousands and tens of thousands, but just keep it up, man. Try to drop a video every other day, cut this, into 5 different segments and you have content for the rest of the week, or each one of you drop a video on your respective teams, just keep up the content because there is someone who is trying to watch, man. Think about it, dude. There's truckers, there's guys who work at the plants, there's guys who work overnights, right? There's kids, dude, who are at school and don't want to do nothing but listen to sports and watch sports. We are who they have, so keep it up, man. It's a fun journey, dude.
Oh yeah, most definitely appreciate that, Ruben. Without further ado, though, make sure you guys go check out his socials again. It's going to be 713 Houston Sports. You can find him
Mm-hmm.
on Twitter and YouTube. And for all you sports fanatics out there, if you want to go check Ruben out, go. You don't even have to be a Texans fan. Just go check out the community and subscribe just to get his live streams because he gives a lot of good football talk. So, go continue to follow him and TikTok as well. So, appreciate it, Ruben. On behalf of the City Boys Pod, we thank you guys all for tuning in and listening to all of us today, whether it's on TikTok, our platforms on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, or YouTube. So, thank you guys enough. Couldn't thank you guys enough for tuning in again, and much love to all our followers out there. We appreciate you guys.
So yeah.